Have you ever been texting a woman? Things seem to be flowing, energy feels good, maybe even a little spark. And then suddenly silence, no reply, no reaction. Just cold space where connection used to be. And your mind starts spinning. Did I say something wrong? Is she playing games? If she liked me, why the hell is she ignoring me? Listen, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I've been there. Most guys have. But here's what no one tells you. Most men completely misread what's really going on when a woman pulls away. They panic, overthink, double text, chase, and without realizing it, they destroy the very attraction they're trying to protect. But not today. Because in this video, I'm going to break down 8 hidden triggers for why she might be ignoring you even if she actually likes you. And more importantly, I'll show you how to respond like a grounded, high-value man, not some guy trying to prove his worth through a phone screen. And if you stick with me till the end, I'll share one mindset shift that will completely change the way you think about women and about yourself. Let's dive in. Part 1. She's testing your confidence. Let's talk about one of the most common, yet most misunderstood reasons why a woman might suddenly go cold on you. She's testing your confidence. Now I know, that sounds manipulative, but most of the time it's not even conscious. It's instinctive. Women are hardwired to seek emotional safety in a man, and confidence is one of the clearest signals that says, you can count on me. Here's the thing. When she pulls back, when her replies slow down, when her energy feels distant, it might not mean she's lost interest. It might mean she's watching how you respond. Do you spiral into anxiety? Do you start blowing up her phone with, "Hey, did I do something wrong?" Or worse, do you start questioning your own worth? If so, you've already failed the test. Confidence isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about knowing who you are, whether she replies or not. When you stay grounded, when you stay focused on your own life, you send a silent message. That's more powerful than any clever text I'm good with or without your validation. Let me tell you something from personal experience. Years ago, I was texting a woman I really liked. She was flirty, charming, fun, and then suddenly nothing. I panicked. Sent 3 texts in a row. You know what happened? She never replied again. It wasn't the silence that turned her off. It was my reaction to it. So what's the move? Simple. Don't chase, don't flinch, don't fold. Let her feel your calm. Let her wonder why you're not reacting. And most of all, keep living. Go hit the gym, grind your goals, hang with your boys, because confidence isn't something you say. It's something you broadcast without a single word. And trust me, she can feel it. Part 2. She's unsure about her feelings. Let's move on to something even more confusing than silence itself. She's unsure about her feelings. Yeah, she might actually like you. She might enjoy your conversations, feel drawn to your vibe, even picture what it'd be like to be with you long term. But deep down, she's not sure if you're the right man for her. And when a woman doesn't know, she pulls back. Not to punish you, not to play games, but because she needs space. Space to feel, to think, to figure out what her heart is really telling her. This is where most guys mess up. They feel the distance and immediately try to fix it. They double down, ask for clarity, try to convince her, "I'm the right guy. Can't you see that?" But here's the truth. You can't logic your way into her emotions. When she's unsure, pressure only makes things worse. Think about it. Have you ever had someone try to talk you into liking them more? It never works. Real attraction doesn't respond to persuasion. It responds to presence. So what's the move? Simple. Step back. Trust the process. Let her come to clarity without your influence clouding her decision. Because when she chooses you, you want it to be real. You want it to be hers, not something she gave out of guilt or pressure. I'll say this from experience. The most attractive thing you can do when she's uncertain is be okay with her uncertainty. Be the grounded man who doesn't beg. doesn't chase, doesn't fold, just because someone else isn't sure. Because here's the truth. When you're rooted in your own value, you stop trying to prove it. And when you stop trying to prove it, that's often when she finally sees it. Part 3. She feels overwhelmed. Let's talk about something most guys never even consider. She might be ignoring you because she's overwhelmed. I know what you're thinking. How can she be overwhelmed? We were just texting. Things felt good. But here's the truth. Not everything she does is about you. Women just like us go through waves of stress you don't always see. Maybe she's buried in work, dealing with family issues, facing burnout, health problems, or simply emotionally exhausted. And in those moments, even answering a friendly text can feel like too much. But here's where most men fall into the trap. They take it personally. They start reading between the lines, creating stories in their heads. Did I mess this up? She must be losing interest. She's probably talking to someone else. And then they react. They send another message. They start asking questions, sometimes even accuse her of pulling away. That's the moment you stop being a calm presence and start becoming emotional pressure. Let me give you a mindset shift that changed everything for me. Not every silence is rejection. Sometimes it's just life. Her life, not yours. So what's the move? Stay grounded. Instead of overreacting, try this. Send one short message. Something simple. Something human. Hey, hope everything's okay. No pressure to reply. Take your time. That one text. It shows confidence, emotional maturity, respect for her space. Because in a world where everyone is pushing for attention, the man who doesn't demand it stands out. And when the storm in her life finally clears, guess who she'll remember? Not the guy who blew up her phone, but the one who stayed steady in the silence. Part 4. You're coming on too strong. Let's be real for a second. This one might sting, but you need to hear it. You might be coming on too strong. And I get it. When you're genuinely into her, you want to keep the momentum going. You're texting first, sending thoughtful messages, maybe dropping compliments to show you're interested. But here's the truth. Most guys completely miss. There's a fine line between showing interest and overwhelming her. Think of attraction like a fire. A little oxygen makes it grow. Too much pressure. You smother it. If you're the one always initiating, always pushing things forward, always trying to create the spark, it starts to feel off balance. It no longer feels natural, it feels forced. And trust me, women feel that. They may not say it directly, but they'll pull back, grow distant, go silent. Not because you're a bad guy, but because it's too much too fast. Let me flip it for a second. Have you ever been on the receiving end of that kind of energy, someone who keeps texting you? Even when you're not responding, it doesn't feel flattering. It feels heavy, like you owe them a response. And that creates pressure. That's exactly what happens when you chase too hard. So what's the move? Pull back. Let her breathe. Let her wonder. Let her miss you. Because when you stop chasing, the energy flips. You stop being the guy trying to win her over and start becoming the guy she's curious about. Attraction isn't built through constant pursuit. It's built in the space where desire has room to grow. Part 5. She wants to see if you have other options. Let's talk about one of the most subtle but powerful reasons why she might be pulling away. She wants to see if you have other options. Now, before you roll your eyes and call this games, hear me out. This isn't always about jealousy. It's about perceived value. In dating, just like in business, value is often measured by demand. If she feels like she's your whole world, if you're always available, always replying instantly, always chasing her attention, then the message you're sending is, I've got nothing else going on. You're all I've got. And that doesn't feel attractive. It feels desperate. High-value men don't orbit around one woman. They have purpose, passion, options, not just romantic options, but life options. A mission, a tribe, goals, routines, standards. They're not sitting by the phone wondering, why hasn't she texted me back, because they're too locked in on their own path. Look, women don't want to be your entire life. They want to join a life that's already worth living. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been drawn to someone? Not because they chased you, but because they were so focused on their own purpose. You just wanted to be part of it. That's what she's looking for. So if she goes quiet, she might be silently asking, is he centered in himself, or am I the center of his universe? What's the move? Get busy. Build, train, grow. Let your silence speak. Not from lack of interest, but from a life that's already full. Because the most attractive man isn't the one who needs to be chased, or who does the chasing. It's the one who doesn't need either. Part 6. She senses. You lack a clear mission. Let's break down something most men never realize. Until it's too late. She can feel it when you lack direction. She might not say it. She might not even know how to explain it. But deep down, if she senses that your entire world revolves around her, if your day begins and ends based on whether she texts you back, that energy, it speaks volumes, and it's not attractive. Women are instinctively drawn to men who have a mission. Not a mission to chase her, a mission for themselves, for their future, for their legacy, for their path. Because let's be honest, how can she trust your leadership, your masculine frame? If you're drifting through life without a compass, and when she senses that, when she feels you orbiting around her world instead of owning your own, she starts to pull back. Not because she's cruel, not because you're not enough, but because subconsciously, she doesn't feel safe in your direction. Because there is no direction. So what's the move? Recenter, refocus, rebuild, shift your energy from her back to you. Lock in your goals, level up your discipline, get serious about your purpose, build a life so full, so intentional that your time becomes sacred, and she can feel that. Because here's the truth, women follow men who know where they're going, not men who wait around hoping to be chosen. The more grounded your life becomes, the more magnetic your presence feels. Without saying a word, without chasing a thing, she's not looking for a passenger. She's watching to see if you're already driving your own damn ship. Part 7. She feels energetic pressure, even if you say nothing. Now this one might surprise you, because it has nothing to do with what you text her, and everything to do with the energy behind it. She can feel your pressure even when you say nothing. A lot of guys think I didn't double text. I didn't chase. I've been silent. I'm doing it right. But here's the real problem. You're still obsessing. You're checking your phone every 10 minutes. You're watching her stories, refreshing her profile, replaying old conversations in your head. And that energy, it leaks. Women are intuitive. They don't need logic or proof to feel something's off. Even through a screen, they can tell, is your silence coming from power or from panic? Because silence without confidence isn't calm. It's chaos in disguise. Think of it like this. You can be sitting in total silence, but if your energy is screaming, please pick me, she can feel that. And instead of drawing her in, it pushes her further away. So what's the move? It's not just about saying less, it's about feeling less needy. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not dependent on her reaction to feel okay about yourself. You give space, not as a tactic, but as a reflection of peace inside you. You stop trying to control the outcome. You stop needing answers. You stay grounded because that's who you've become. Here's the truth. Silence only works when your energy is still. Otherwise, she can feel the storm beneath your calm. So the next time you go quiet, make sure your energy isn't doing all the talking. Because women don't just hear your words, they feel your frequency. Part 8. She's just not that into you. All right. It's time for some straight-up truth. And this one, it's not easy to hear, but it's one of the most important. Sometimes, she's just not that into you. I know that hurts. You had chemistry. The vibe felt real. You saw potential. Maybe you thought, if I just give it time, maybe she'll come around. But here's the deal, brother. When a woman is genuinely into you, she shows it. She makes time, she responds, she puts in effort, not because you chased her, but because she wants to. No one is too busy for someone they truly want in their life. She could be juggling work, stress, deadlines, family stuff. But if she's in it, you'll know. You won't have to decode her texts. You won't be stuck analyzing emojis like they're ancient scrolls. But when she's not into you, you'll feel that too. And the longer you ignore it, the more you betray yourself. That's when it gets dangerous. You settle for breadcrumbs. You justify mixed signals. You wait around hoping she'll figure it out. Meanwhile, you lose sight of your own worth. But you don't have to do that. Because your value, it's not defined by whether or not she chooses you. So what's the move? Don't beg. Don't plead. Don't try to win her back. Instead, walk away with your head high and your dignity intact. Because the right woman, she won't leave you confused. She'll choose you, clearly. And when you learn to let go of the ones who don't, you make space for the one who actually will. Part 9. The Mindset Shift. All right. We've broken down the signs. We've decoded the silence. But now comes the part that changes everything. Your mindset. Because here's the brutal truth. Most men make one fatal mistake when a woman pulls away. They invest all their emotional energy trying to fix it. They obsess. How do I win her back? What should I text? When should I call? They pour all their focus into changing her mind instead of transforming their own. But the real question is this. Why am I making one woman the center of my self-worth? Brother, this entire time you've been playing the wrong game. You've been chasing her approval instead of chasing your potential. True power isn't about staying calm when she pulls back. It's about not being shaken by it at all. It's about knowing your mission matters more than a read receipt. Your identity isn't tied to who responds to your texts. Your growth, your mindset, your direction. That's the real currency. That's what separates men who lead from men who follow. Let me share something that changed my entire life when you stop chasing her and start chasing you. You become magnetic, not just to women, but to opportunity, to respect, to life itself. You want to stop being ignored, then stop making her the prize. You become the prize, the man with a vision, with a backbone, with presence, a man who doesn't shrink just because someone went quiet. When you focus on yourself, you stop chasing. And when you stop chasing, you start attracting. That's the shift. And once it clicks, everything else follows. Duoy jai la fan koi kung final recap and close voi jong geo tong ket. Man me ro rang va truyen kam hung han jong. Jai la joan tao duam koi kung trong tam tring goik sem ne negat nip juox thiet ke je truyen tai cheo sao va sudut khoat. Final recap and close. Let's wrap this up with some clarity. If she's ignoring you, it could be one of 8 things. She might be testing your confidence. She could be unsure about her feelings. Maybe she's just overwhelmed with life. Or you might be coming on too strong. She could be checking if you have other options, sensing that you lack a deeper mission, picking up on the needy energy behind your silence. Or yes, she might simply not be that into you. But here's what really matters. None of those things define you. What does define you is how you respond. When you shift your focus back to your purpose, back to your peace, back to your path. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. That's the edge. That's your power. If this video hit home, tap that like button. Drop a comment. Let me know which point cut the deepest. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started. This isn't just a video. It's a movement. A space for men who are done playing small, who are ready to grow, to lead, to rise. Join the tribe, and keep leveling up. Because you've got more in you than you realize, and the world's been waiting for you to step into it. See you in the next one.